Okay, shalom everybody. Welcome back to our Breslov campus seminar on this very fundamental teaching from Rav Nosson in Likutey Halachot. It's the section of Or Chaim, the laws of Shabbat boundaries, Eruv Tchumin, halacha number 6. And this discourse is so fundamental, like we spoke about last week, because this joins two of Rabbi Nachman's the word fundamental again, most fundamental teachings of Azamra, which is basically finding your good points. And we're going to see coming up, we didn't yet touch into it, but another one of the second most important lessons of Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi Nachman, don't forget, he foresaw what we're going through today very clearly. 210 years ago, he very much foresaw what human beings is struggling today. All the modern day psychological issues, stress issues, financial issues, happiness issues, traumatic issues, all these things, he foresaw this, and he gave literally life-saving teachings showing how everything's in the Torah. But to apply it, B'ezrat Hashem, he mixed up a compound, if you want to call it, a spiritual compound in this format of giving it in a way that you can use this in basically any scenario and every situation in life. B'ezrat Hashem. That's what it's meant for. It's meant to help a person in the most darkest situations to be able to get up, to start again, to continue, and to make life-changing decisions, to have what's called in English, is a nice word, resilience. To have resilience, B'ezrat Hashem. So that's why it's so fundamental, this teaching. I just now, before I left the BRI office, I just told Rav Chaim Kramer what I'm going into now, and his face lit up. He didn't know what was the topic. When I told him doing this halacha, his face lit up because this is a very special halacha. It's long even. It's long, which means that Rav Nosson power packs it with a lot of encouragement, a lot of teachings, B'ezrat Hashem. And the world has yet to taste this book. Likutey Halachot is not yet really so much available. There's some translations, whatever. There's some classes, but to go step by step in this halacha hasn't been done yet, and we're hoping to make a chip in the wall. There should be an opening for the rest. There's 8 volumes. There's over 3,500 pages, and everything is amazing by Rav Nosson. But this discourse is really amazing. And I'm going to say that about everyone, but this one is something unbelievable, as you can hopefully see for yourself, B'ezrat Hashem. Right? So we're continuing. We left off last week. We started this halacha vav, Eruv Tchumin. You have it in the books there. I assume you can see where it is. Eruv Tchumin halacha vav. We did last week the first paragraph of Nosson's numbering, Sif Aleph. We are now starting in Sif Bet, where he's continuing with the idea. The basic summary of last week, he went into the idea how everything is Shabbat. Everything, any trace of good, a modicum of good found in the week, it's from Shabbat. You can blame it on Shabbat. Shabbat takes full credit for anything good. He's making this powerful statement that this is the essence of the holiness and the honor of Shabbat, drawing it to the rest of the week. That's that idea of that a person should always be living in Shabbat mentality, B'ezrat Hashem. And now he's going to develop now. Now at this point he's going to start connecting it to these 2 lessons. Here we go. Ki'ita b'divrei Adonenu Morenu v'Rabbeinu HaKadosh v'Norah Zal. Look at these titles he's giving towards Rabbi Nachman, Rav Nosson. Because it's brought down in the writings of our master, our teacher, our holy Rebbe, an awesome, wondrous teacher of blessed memory. Kama etzot u'drachim, several pieces of advice and pathways, litchazek v'sameach et nafsho tamid, that a person can strengthen himself, to bring joy to himself always, even in the most difficult situations. That's what's beautiful about these teachings, that he gives all types of scenarios to give you, okay, if this doesn't work, try this. If this doesn't work, try this. Person who doesn't want to try, they stop in the beginning. They say, no, it's miserable, and I have an excuse to be Tisha B'Av, right? But he's giving us options. He says, try this, try that, try that. Okay, the cards don't run out by Rabbi Nachman. He has many things. And you say, okay, I tried everything. So you say, okay, so maybe this is not the problem. Maybe try this. And he gives you a totally new a new platform. And from there now, let's try these new advices. And it could be that this is not it. It's a combination of this. This is like a doctor. And he's a spiritual doctor. A tzaddik is a spiritual doctor to give you the right compound, what is needed to help your spiritual ailment. B'ezrat Hashem. Okay? So he says, first of all, in Rabbi Nachman's teachings, you find many pieces of advice and pathways how to strengthen yourself to be that a person can bring joy to himself always. In other words, to not have an excuse, I have a justification why to be negative, why to be bad, why to be sad, why to be depressed. He's saying you can find a way even in the most miserable situation. Sometimes it's okay, maybe I should take a nap a little. Maybe it could be something even simple. Something just to put yourself on the side to get out of the negative mood. Bezat Hashem. And then he says that through these pieces of advice to strengthen yourself to always be happy, Yishaer al omdo, a person, yes, will be able to stand on his positioning, on his feet. In other words, you won't give in to the situations of life making you to be negative and down and depressed. V'lo yipol le'olam chas v'shalom, and that you won't fall ever, God forbid. You might say, it's nice when it's written, fine and dandy when it's written, but when it comes to closing the book, when you go to real life, it doesn't work, these things. But he's serious. It's all about how much you believe in these teachings. If you believe in them, Bezat Hashem, they can help. They can help in every situation. Because he says coming up, and you the reader might think that this does not apply to you, so we're going to stress again that this applies even in your scenario and situation. You think, they didn't know what I'm going through today in 2019 with the technology and this and that, they didn't have these type of situations back then. Come on. And he says, you might think that to find a way out that this doesn't apply to you, you look carefully, what we have to offer applies even to you. Okay, so he says like this, that advice is that can give a person the strength to stand on his feet and he won't fall forever, God forbid. You can have situations where you fall, but the thing is, you get up. A person might get up after a day, 2 days, 3 days, but the thing is to get up afterwards, Bezat Hashem. If you take a look at Rabbi Nachman's personal life and Rabbi Nachman's wisdom, the part called Shivchei Haran, his praises, he says about himself that Rabbi Nachman had major ups and downs in life. He had downs that knocked him down so low that he lost the rest of the day. He couldn't continue. And yet, afterwards he made up his mind, I can't stay like this, and he did get back up. Many people have difficult situations where they get knocked and they choose to stay down. They choose to stay there. I'm comfortable here and that's it, forget it, whatever. They try to end it, chas v'shalom, whatever the situation. Here he's trying to give us strength. You get up. Eventually. It might take 5 minutes, might take an hour, might take a day, might take a few days, might take a week, you don't know. Might take a month. For some people, might take a year, who knows? We can't judge. But the thing is to get back up, is Hashem, to have this resilience to get back up. That's what's so important, is that you continue after the fall, the crash, whatever it is. So he goes on. That this is the most important thing above everything else as is known. Because if you don't have this, there's no Shabbat, there's no Yom Kippur, there's nothing. You can learn Gemara and everything, but if you don't have this, and you just fall and crash, so everything loses its value. Everything you're doing, the tzitzit, the tefillin, the tzedakah, all the good things you can be doing, if now you lost hope, you lost the meaning to continue, everything lost its value. For such a person, it doesn't make a difference if he fasts on Yom Kippur or not. It doesn't make a difference, chas v'shalom, if it doesn't get Shabbat or not. It's when you have a hope, it gives you the positioning for everything else. So he's saying here that this is Ikar Hakol. This is the most important thing above everything else, is that you continue standing on your feet and to continue going. Ach Ikar Itchaskut Bioter, an amazing statement. But yet, from all the advices that Rabbi Nachman gives, Ikar Itchaskut Bioter, the main encouragement, the most powerful encouragement, Al pi ma shekatuv b'shtei Torot Kedoshot, is really found in, if you want to take from all Rabbi Nachman's teachings, the two most important addresses of strong, potent words of encouragement are found in these two holy lessons in the Likutey Moran, Shehem Azamra Lelokai Beodi, the lesson based on the verse from Psalms by King David, I will sing to Hashem with the little bit of good that I still have within me. That's the title of the lesson. Likutey Aleph Siman Reish Pei, lesson 282 of Likutey Moran. Umashe Katuv Al Pasuk, and also another lesson based on another verse. Va'yeh Aseh Leolah, what Yitzchak asked Avram Avinu, and where is the sheep that you for the burnt offering that you want to offer? Likutey Halachot, that's the title of the lesson, of crying out, Aye, where are you? In the darkest situations. Found in Likutey Halachot, part 2, lesson 12. Siman Yud Bet. Ayen Sham Heitev. Look there carefully. When Rav Nosson says that, he means it. He means that he wants you to take time to take a look at these two lessons inside. Why? Because you will benefit much, much more from what he's developing here. In the framework of this class, we can't so much do that, since all these books are already available in English and clear translations. So it's really up to the listener to take advantage, to take a look at these two lessons inside. But he's going to go over points that we will need at least to basically understand what he's saying on a basic level. Because in this first lesson, 282, Likutey Halachot, Azamra it's called, Azamra, I will sing. Mivuar, it's brought down in that lesson, number 1. When a person begins to see that he is very, very far from Hashem, blessed be He, and his activity and actions and his way of conduct is really, really low, really disgusting. Nevertheless, he should see to it, to seek out, to search, to look, to find in himself some good point. He's giving a brief summary of the lesson there. Because how is it possible that a person did not do any type of mitzvah, any good deed in his lifetime? He must have done something good. And he goes on, next stage. And even though you find this good point, but you find and see that even the mitzvah itself that you found, it has a lot of excess tissue, excess matter, a lot of garbage attached to it that ruins the value of that good point, of that mitzvah. Nevertheless, if you just move all the excess and the matter on the side, nevertheless, there's still a fundamental good point here. Did you do it? Yes, I did it. Okay, ulterior motives, we don't care right now, but you did it in the end. You put on your tefillin in the end? Yes. You smiled at somebody, you helped an old person cross the street? Yes, I did it. I had bad motives and this and that, and afterwards I did something worse. But you did it in the end. Everything was done in the end. Yes? Okay, that's what we care about. That's what we care. The deed was done. There's a good point, a minimal good point to it. Forget about the kavanah, lishma, shelo lishma. You did something minimally good, it was done, period, done. Okay, so that's what he's saying. Nevertheless, there has to be bevada yesh ba'ezeh nekuda tova. There has to be some good point, a modicum, something. V'chen yivakesh. That's one good point. And then also, you must seek out v'yimtza be'atzmo od ezeh nekudot tovot. You have to go on and find. You should go seek, search, look for in yourself another good point and do the same pattern of finding that it's a good point. Va'idezeh, and through all this, yuchal lehitpalel, you can then daven, etc. V'zeu azarma, and that's the meaning of the verse. I will sing to Hashem, I will pray to Hashem with my odi. Odi means a little bit more in me. And Rabbi Nachman's translating a little bit more in me as the little bit more of good that I found. Because the nature of one good point is now to lead the way to find another good point, another good point, another good point. So you begin to see you're not as bad as you thought initially, that everything's just dark and finished and that's it. He's teaching us a mentality. This is very, very needed, especially today. Because the Musar attitude of being negative and you're like this and you're like that and you're nobody and you don't get up in the morning and you're lazy and taking a negative attitude today will bring people even much more further. It's seeing what we have to go through today, and then on top of that a person takes on the negative Musar attitude, it's just going to destroy him. What's needed, especially today, is a person has to be positive. Even if it feels fake. Come on, who am I playing a game with? I have such terrible things and I'm trying to be happy with some little good point. And he says, Rabbi Nachman, yes, act silly, do it because it's a psychological effect to get things Bezat Hashem moving, that you can really be happy. This is what's needed. What's needed is to find good. It's hard. It's very hard. Nachon, it's hard. But when a person trains into it, a person davens about this a lot, so then instinctively his neshama connects to these ideas, so that his subconscious connects to these ideas, and it's more of a tendency in a person to get to it. Of course it's hard, it can take a lot of work, but this is the direction to be used to help a person. And what did he say at the end? That then a person can daven. because the key for everything in life to move is your prayers. But now if a person is so negative about themselves, they can't daven. When we say davening, it means to connect to the words, not to do lip service. I'm just davening because I have to daven. We're talking about davening and really feeling the davening. That davening is the words are coming from you and not from the book. There are people who are reading from the siddur, but they're just reading from the siddur. It's not you. The thing of davening, prayer, is that it's coming from you. To have that, you have to be really positive about yourself. You have to have a major simcha of your value. That's why he's saying that this format, this procedure, is what leads a person to begin to be able to daven. Because the positive attitude is what's needed to daven. Without that, forget it. You will never be able to express yourself properly to Hashem. And even if you're so broken with what you're going through and everything, and you're negative, and from the negativity you express yourself, there could be times that will save you, but in the main, that's not a proper attitude to take. That, like Rabbi Nachman teaches in the Aleph Bet book, Sefer Midot, that improper hitbodedut leads a person to anger. Improper hitbodedut is where a person starts off talking to Hashem in a negative way. We're not talking about those situations where you're just under so much pressure, so then you explode. You have to let out yourself to express yourself. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a person who takes this as like a normal mode, that has to be negative, and to build on a negative attitude of brokenness, of feeling so disgusting and low, and from that crying out to Hashem. The chances are that the crying is not coming out of a broken heart, but the crying is kind of coming out of depression. And that type of prayer, Rabbi Nachman says, will just lead to anger, to more negative things. It's so very, very much important that a person start off with a good footing and thank Hashem. And it's designed in the way Chazal designed the day. The first thing you say when you wake up in the morning is what? Modani. I thank you. Not, why didn't you help me get up for 4 in the morning for davening? What is this, God? You let me sleep in? You don't help me get up? I heard my alarm clock. Why you make me so tired? No, the attitude you have to say, I thank you, Hashem. It's 10 in the morning, I thank you, Hashem. It's 11 in the morning, I thank you, Hashem. Not, what am I going to wake up for? No, I thank you, Hashem. The Chazal, they established, you say, Modani, not, I woke up late again. This is especially by the guys who are real ones. Big Ovdei Hashem, guys who get up Chatzot, for example, and get up nets, and then they have a crash where they can't get up anymore. So these guys have a bigger test of being negative. He said, I missed Chatzot. They're not, thank God you woke up in the morning. No, I missed, getting up at midnight. I missed my whole night now. I missed doing an hour hitbodedut. I missed now davening nets with a nice minyan. I lost out. Modani, mister. It's 10 in the morning, Modani. 11 in the morning, Modani. Forget about the negative attitude. Forget it. It doesn't work now. It's going to bring you, it's going to keep you in bed. Why should I get up and go back to sleep, whatever? Most people, I think, they go back to sleep because they're negative. They say, I already slept in anyways, I might as well just sleep in another hour, another 2 hours, right? Modani, it's to be positive. It's hard, again, it's easy to talk. We're talking now theoretical. It's understood, it's hard. But at least know that this is the direction, this is what to work on, and we have better chances, B'ezrat Hashem, of being very, very positive. Fine. So he gave a summary of lesson 282. Okay? Okay? עיין שם, אוקיי. הידי זה יכול להתפלל וזה הזמרה עיין שם. אוקיי. ובסימן י"ב, and now the second lesson, that's Azamra. Now the second lesson, 12 of part 2 of Likutey Moran, al pasuk vayihaseh le'olah, where Rabbi Nachman develops the wording of Yitzchak, like we said, and where Yitzchak asked Avram, and where is the seh le'olah? So he says, and his wording here is much more stronger. Look at Rav Nosson how he talks. Mevuar niflaot. It is expounded in that lesson. Wonders. This lesson is in a way more wondrous than the Zamra. We're going to see why. Me'inyan yerida tachlit aliyah. Regarding this concept, how a person's down in life, his descents, is really the pathway to the highest ascent in his life. The deepest downs that a person is going through is meant to propel him, to bring him to the highest aliyot, highest ascents. It's the test. This is the test now. Ayen Sham Heitev, look there carefully in lesson 12, part 2 Likutey Moran. V'haklal, and now he gives a summary of Nosson. V'haklal, the summary of the lesson is Shemekomot harechukim me'od ma'Hashem yitbarach, the places which are exceedingly far from God, like filthy places, shehem bechinat mekomot hametunafim, which are the aspect of filthy places. The person spiritually feels very removed from anything connected to God and Yiddishkeit and Torah, etc. And holiness, ikar kiumam. How do these places exist? How does Hashem allow such darkness, such evil, such separativeness to exist, separated from God and holiness? If God is everywhere, God created everything, God even created idols and evil and wickedness and murderers and everything, you begin to wonder, where is there room for their existence? If Hashem created even that so bad, where is it coming from? So he says, Ikar kiumam nimshach daika mibichinat ayeh mekom kevodo. He explains, evil exists from Hashem, but you wonder, why would Hashem allow room to create something so evil? Idolatry, for example, which is a complete opposite of Hashem. It's 180 degrees opposite of anything God. It's the exact opposite of Hashem, and then Hashem is sustaining it. Hashem is giving the idols, the idol worshippers, air, oxygen, sustenance, nourishment from God. Where is it coming from? So he teaches in this lesson, Rabbi Nachman, that it comes from a very, very high level. A high level, it's called in the wording of the Gemara, Ma'amar Satum. The world was created with 10 utterances. You see in the first chapter of Genesis, Bereshit, and the Lord said, let there be. Vayomer Elokim yehi or, Vayomer Elokim yetachedeshe. And the Lord said, let the grass, let the animals come out, right? In the 6 days of creation. If you count them, there's only 9, not 10. It says 9 times, and the Lord said, let there, 9 times. Where's number 10? Number 10 is called Bereshit Ma'amar Satum. The initial verse of the entire Torah is itself an utterance, but it doesn't say, and the Lord said, let there be. It just says Bereshit. In the beginning, for the sake of the beginning, however you want to interpret it, like Rashi says. What do you see? And the Lord said, let there be. So it's called Ma'amar Satum. It's an utterance, but it's hidden. Totally hidden. I don't see any statement of a creator and a commandment, an utterance. I don't see anything here. So it's called Ma'amar Satum. What was that needed for? Why did Hashem make that? Why the setup of 9 and 1 making 10? Just make all 10, and the Lord said, and the Lord said. A hidden utterance is needed specifically to sustain and create and nourish and to establish anything within the creation which is totally black, totally against Hashem, against godliness, against the Torah. Anything which is against evil, big evil, total evil, has to have a spark in it to exist. And it's not right to say that the spark comes from, and the Lord said, let there be idols, and the Lord said, it doesn't make sense to say that. It's not proper. So it has to come in such a hidden level that you can't even see how it's connected. That's why it's called the hidden utterance, to give nourishment for anything that's hidden. So he says, Ikar kiumam, the sustenance of these far, far places is specifically drawn from Ayeh Mekom Kevodo, which is another Ayeh, where the angels proclaim, where is the place of your glory? And that's exactly what's needed in these situations. When you see total evil, where are you, God? Where is the place of it? Where are you found in this situation? This could be for a physical scenario, it could be for an emotional scenario. Where are you, Hashem, in my life? I don't see anything. I just see dead end, dark. No hope. Or where are you, Hashem? Where? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to act and conduct in this situation? In such frustration, such futility. Where are you? Okay, Ayeh Mekom Kevodo. Shehu, like we said, this is the idea, Bechinat Bereshit Ma'amar Satum. This is the idea of in the beginning, the first utterance, the hidden utterance. Shemisham Mikablin Kol Asar Mamarut. That not only is it the source for anything which is totally dark, it's on such a high level that it's also the root of the other 9 revealed utterances. He's making this statement, so you should understand that even the good, can't live a separated life. Like they say, let those who are wicked and bad, let them rot, and let us live our life happy, serving Hashem and Haimish. Let the people who are far and wicked, let them rot, let them disappear. You can't do that. Everything's connected. The 9 utterances of goodness in the world, of positive everything, they're also rooted in the Ma'amar Satum, the hidden utterance, which is the root for evil. So you can't say, We're separate. I have nothing to do with that. There's a way that has to be elevated. That evil has to be elevated. The spark eventually has to be revealed. That's your job, Bezat Hashem. That's explaining, by the way, I'm just going to go off a little, that when a person is thrown in very, very dark situations, he has nothing to hold on to. Even good points, Azarma, he's going to say, Rav Nosson, doesn't help him. What does it help me that I woke up in the morning? What does it help me? That I put on tefillin this morning. What does it help me? That I did a mitzvah. What does it help? The darkness is so painful and so dark. I have no handles, nothing to hold on to while falling in this dark pit. There's nothing to hold on to. So at that point, it's understood that Hashem is testing a person for something far more greater, which is what? To cry out to Hashem, I know you're here hiding, I don't see you. Where are you, Hashem? In other words, when the Jew makes the right decision and cries out to Hashem, help me, what should I do? What's supposed to do? As opposed to just accepting the darkness and giving up, chas v'shalom. That's the option. Or to fall into the darkness and to fall into Yeush, to despair and just drop everything. Or to say, Hashem, you're supposed to be here and I don't find you. I don't want to give up, Hashem. I don't want to, chas v'shalom, to accept and to fall in status quo to the dark and that's it. I don't want this, Hashem. I'm looking for you. So when you do that, he says you transform the greatest darkness to the greatest light. Because by you making a statement, Hashem should be here, and I just don't see him in this situation, but you're saying he must be here, and I'm now crying out to him, where are you, Hashem? So by making an acknowledgement that Hashem should be here, you're now actually showing an opening that yes, Hashem is supposed to be here. You're making the statement, where are you, Hashem? I can't find you. You're supposed to be here, that's why I'm crying out to you. Help me to get out of this darkness. So that itself transforms this darkness to the greatest light. And that's the reason in the first place why they sent you in that situation, to see if you'll make the right move or not. If you will, yes, call out to Hashem, or God forbid, just, okay, it's finished, it's over, game over, closing the shop, and that's it. That's the whole test of the Ayeh situation. So let's go on. שוב בחינת בראשית מאמר סתום, שמשם מקבלים כל 10 מאמרות, כי הוא כולל כולם. Because this initial hidden utterance, Bereshit, includes all of them, like I said, all the other 9. So all 10 are really in this. ומשם דייקה מקבלים חיות מקומות הרחוקים מאוד הנזכרים להם, and it's specifically from this hidden utterance that all the very, very far places, situations, scenarios, people, etc. receive their life source and nourishment, as mentioned above. כי הם מקבלים מגודל העלמה והסתרה של מאמר זה. They can only exist indirectly. Evil can't exist directly receiving nourishment from the positive and the holy and the light and the goodness. They specifically, because of the severe, how deep the concealment is in this hidden utterance, that's where they receive their nourishment from. Because of it's so being concealed of this utterance, this Ma'amar Satum, this hidden utterance. Valken. So here we go, like we said earlier. When a person falls to these low situations, these low scenarios, these low places, God forbid, he's explaining much better of Nosim. And a person falls into having doubts, Vehirurim, and all types of thoughts, confusions, ubilbulim gdolim, major confusing, frustrating thoughts. And all this, he also sees how far he is from God. So everything's tipping him to just go into the darkness, just forget it, just drop everything, to give up. Don't fall because of and through all of this, God forbid. Be strong. This is a test. This is a test that's going to change the rest of your life. Be strong. Do the right thing. Everyone has to go through this, by the way. Everyone in life goes through this challenge. Some people go through it in an early age, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Everyone goes to this challenge in life where they feel totally all alone, not knowing if there's any light or any hope, total blackness. And it's a situation where a person is really being tested. If you pass the test, it's going to be a major breakthrough in your life. And if chas shalom you don't, then chas shalom. It's a major change. And he's saying, do the right thing. Cry out, Ayeh. Cry out, Hashem, where are you? That's all you can do. You can't do anything. There's nothing to do. What you can do is to look out for Hashem, to seek out, where are you? Where are you, Hashem, in this situation? Okay? He explains now better, Rav Nosson. Because it's just the opposite. Through this, in itself, that you see how severe, how great is your distance, that you're so far from the honor of Hashem. And yet, sho'elu mivakesh ayeh mikom kevodo, and you're asking, because of this, where are you, Hashem? Where's the place of your glory? Where are you hiding? Al yedei zeh ba'atzmo, through this in itself, ikar tikuno, this is the main rectification of man. V'aliyato, and his elevation. Mivchinat yerida, tachlit aliyah. The down is the maximum in turning into an ascent. This down will become tachlit, the greatest type of ascent possible that a person's experienced so far. Because through simply just the searching and the seeking, where are you, Hashem, etc. Just the seeking itself. It might not even require saying anything. Just your attitude. Where are you, Hashem? You're looking up. Once Rav Nosson was eating a chicken soup, and a piece of the chicken bone got stuck in his throat, and he was choking. And he didn't know what to do. And he started indicating, like this, and he looked up, because couldn't even talk. He looked up, and by looking up, the bone became dislodged and was able to spit it out. So after he recovered, after that, he told the person next to him, did you see what happened now? Did you see that? I couldn't even talk to Hashem, I couldn't say anything. All I could do is to look up. And he said that's how it is in life. Sometimes there's such bad situations, you're choking, you can't even say anything. All I can do is look up to Hashem, help me, just with the eyes. You can't even say anything. Just you're tilting your head, indicating, help me Hashem, where are you? That already activates salvation. That was Rav Nosson's practical analogy, explanation of an analogy on this situation, an anecdote on this situation, okay? I just go went up a few lines. By just seeking out and looking, where are you, Hashem? This in itself, through this in itself, a person goes up in the aspect of ayeh, where are you? Through the aspect of ayeh, seeking where are you, to the level of the hidden utterance, which is the highest level of holiness. Because to be the root of the deepest darkness and tuman, evil in the world, it requires a higher level of kedusha. That's a rule in Judaism. That, the deeper you have to go deep, you need a stronger tractor, you need a big bulldozer. In order to go digging deeper and deeper, you need a stronger machine. Also in kedusha. In order for a tzaddik or a level of holiness to be very powerful, it has to have the power to go deep down to rescue. You send a professional rescue team to someone who's really trapped. You send the best. The Alpha team, what's it called? The Alpha team in America? I don't know what they're called. The top of the army, whatever. You send the top to get to the hardest missions. So too in Kedusha, where there is the deepest of the deep, the lowest of the low, you can't settle for anything tiny. It has to be the highest levels of Kedusha possible, reachable, attainable, etc. Okay? Which is, like he's saying again, it is a very, very lofty concept. Bechinat Bereshit, the idea of the beginning. You see, it's called in itself Bereshit, the hidden utterance. So Rav Nosson's indicating it's called Bereshit because that's the beginning. That's the beginning point of everything else, is this hidden utterance. Shemisham ikar kiyum v'chiyut shel kol ha'asara ma'amarot. Like he said earlier, that from there comes the existence, life, nourishment of all the other 9, in other words, totaling 10 utterances. Ayin sham kol ze heitev heitev. See there very, very carefully. Now you take a look at these 2 lessons. Which one of the 2 talks to you more? The second one. The second one really is more emotional. It's really relating to me more, the search of ayeh. And this is where Rav Nosson is going to say that the goal of a Jew daily is you have to have accessible the teaching of Azamra, finding the good points. Because in your daily struggles, you don't every day go through a trauma and a crisis. Once in a blue moon, you go into a crisis. But daily struggles with Yetzara, in, out, box, boom, boom, here, up and down, here, there. So you need a lot of Azamra. Here, though, the second case is when really I'm knocked down. I can't get up. I'm just knocked, wasted, nothing. At that point, Azamra will only cause more damage. To try to, okay, maybe this, maybe that, come on, cheer up. Doesn't work. It's just totally dark. At that time was needed this higher dosage, this bulldozer called ayeh. And what the goal of ayeh is, he's going to say that coming up, Rav Nosson, is that once you've transformed your darkness to the highest ascent, then you're in light, you're in ascent. Now, every tiny good point has a value. You see, when you see those people on the street, oh, thank you Hashem, thank you so much, thank you Hashem. That's only after being escaped from their darkness. They weren't always like that. They had a push from Ayah, thanks to Ayah, of turning darkness into the biggest light. Something happened in their life that now they're open to open. There's an aliyah. They're now in a room where they turn on the light now. Before, they were in a room, there was darkness, the light was off. Somebody turned on the light. Wow, there's my tefillin, there's my tzedakah, there's my getting up in the morning, there's my learning Mishnah today, there's my, going to the mikveh, there's my saying a bracha. Now you can see it. It has a value now. Before in the darkness, that someone tells you, okay, it's a good point, but the darkness is so strong, I don't see the good point of the good point. I don't see the inner essence good point of the good. It's just too dark. It doesn't talk to me because the lights are off. Ayah turns on the lights of the whole room collectively, and now I can begin to value Azamra. It's a process. A person gets up, okay, they give him a day, a week, a month, a year, that he's more or less okay, he's ups and downs, Azamra. And then in heaven they say, okay, now you're ready for your next level, another darkness, where they turn off all the lights, and you're totally dark, and you're unused to the situation, because you're used to Azamra, finding a good point, and getting enough encouragement to get back up through it and everything, but now they turn off all the lights, and hey, it's not working anymore. Finding my good point, getting up in the morning, Modani, it's not budging me anymore, it's not. And you start talking to friends and this, and I'm just getting down and down. Nothing anyone is saying to me is helping me. I don't find yet those words of encouragement enough to inspire me. It can inspire me for like 1 or 2, 3 seconds, but then afterwards I go back to my Tisha B'Av, God forbid. What's happening? Again, a person's thrown in a situation where he has no handles, he doesn't know what to do, he panics. So now is the test, is he going to do the right thing? Are you going to cry out again? Ayah, and this time if you do the right thing, again another ayah, a bigger ascent than the first one. And where Bezat Hashem, it turns the whole room full of light, the light bulbs are on, newer, higher levels of good points, stronger ones, even deeper ones. It changes this attitude. But this is what's needed in life. This is the key to going on. Again, we're talking. If you think we're masters of this, we're not. We want this also. We're all in the same ballgame in this. But this is a goal. Rav Nosson wrote 2 unbelievable prayers to help a person connect to these teachings. You have prayer 90 on the Azamra, on the first one of the good points, and you have prayer 12, part 2 of Nosson's prayers, the 50th gate, Likutey Halachot in Hebrew, on this lesson. It's very important. The more you daven about it, the more you have chances of having these things activated in your life. Like they say in Hebrew, Kula Hai Ve'ulai. After all this, you have a better chance than other people in getting back on your feet and being positive. But here, Rabbi Nachman is revealing to us that this is the key. This is the key of all the tzaddikim who became tzaddikim, all the people who succeeded in their Yiddishkeit, in their connection to God, in living life even in this world happy. That's the thing. To be happy in the next world, that's one thing. Fine. But the thing is to be able to be happy in this world, to be able to be positive in this world, it's not so easy. You see other people, you think they're happy, they're okay, everything's nice and everything. You don't know what they're going through. I know what I'm going through. Here Rabbi Nachman is revealing us a handle. Use this. It's a powerful force of maintaining a positive attitude, which is so needed again. It is so needed. Again, there are times during the day that yes, you have to do cheshbon nefesh. There are times in hitbodedut where you have a broken heart, you express your distance from Hashem, you express what you're going through, all the difficulties. That's what that time is set for. But the rest of the day is meant to be happy. They used to say in Breslov a nice joke. They used to say in Breslov that if a person in the middle of the day, he's in the middle of work and something not so good happened, and he begins to say, I can't believe I did that again. The person begins to feel negative about himself. You're such a loser. He starts saying to himself, you're such a loser, you're such a nobody, you did this mistake. So the Breslov will say, Mr. Yetzirah, you're coming at the wrong time. I gave time for you for my hitbodedut hour between 9 and 10. So office hours are from 9 and 10. Right now I'm busy, I can't take care of this negative. I saved you to come between 9 and 10, then we'll talk about it. And then you save 9 and 10 and you wonder, where's the Yetzirah? Where I told you to come between 9 and 10. I was waiting for you at 9 and 10 all hour. Come back already, right? So this is the thing that they would say, try to push off any distress. Say, okay, I have my time for this, not right now. The Yetzirah wants to say, no. Now, I want you to worry about it. Now, I want you to be negative about it. Now, I want you to be eaten up by it and rot now. So we have to say, now's not the time. I'm sorry, I have other things to do. I have to do what I have to do. When you think of justification, it must be a mitzvah to be negative right now. That's what Rabbi Nachman calls the mitzvah of the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara sometimes comes with a very big shtreimel. Okay, it comes with a nice long beard, a nice pace, and he tries to tell you that this is a mitzvah, especially in this area of making a first person feel bad at the wrong time, negative at the wrong time. The time to feel brokenhearted, not even negative, is the time of Hitbodedut. When you're opening now to express your difficulties to Hashem, that's the time to express how you're feeling. Negativity will come out then, but it'll be in the format of brokenheartedness, Bezrat Hashem. But the rest of the day, a person has to be positive. And if he feels negative at that time, so it's one of a few things. Or number one, he's not doing Hitbodedut properly, so they keep on bothering him in the middle of the day. They keep on nudging him, negative feelings, because he didn't do the Hitbodedut properly anyways, right? So now is the time he has to do Hitbodedut now. He has to close the shop. There was a student of Rav Nosson, just a story on that. Rav Nosson had a disciple. His name was Rabbi Chaim ben Rav Naftali. He was a jeweler. He had money. He was a merchant. And once there was a big exposition of jewelry in Kiev. There was a big jewelry exposition. And he had his booth with all the jewelry that he had on exposition. And he started to cry, like davening and crying. And these are customers that are Jews and Goyim alike, you know? So there was a chassid there, who was also a jeweler, and he saw Rabbi Chaim, he knew Rabbi Chaim. He said to him, why are you crying now? He says, this is what I was created for, just to sell jewelry. What's with my purpose in life? What's going to be with me? 120 this. So the man said, fine and dandy, but why in front of everybody, He says, this is what Rabbi Nachman taught us, that when you have a hero to do tshuva, you have to take advantage right there and then to express it out. But again, this is the possibility. If now you didn't do Hitbodedut, and you have feelings of remorse coming to you, and they begin to make you feel negative and bad, like you're such a nobody and this and that, so then you know that's pure from the Yetzer Hara and has to be pushed off. Now's not the time, now's not the time. I have to do what I have to do. B'ezrat Hashem, we should be zocheh to be masters. We're using these weapons to be strong, because it's the big test in life. It's throughout all of life. We should be zocheh to use them properly and to make it properly and having a happy living experience with Hashem.